Right, so welcome to our third webinar from our blog series on allergies and intolerances. Yes, we're at the third webinar, and at the beginning I told you that we will come to the food supplements because it's a very interesting point. And today we both will be moderating and providing additional information, but we have also Dr. Jacqueline Hassen, our ecotrophologist, who's going to provide our details on products and regarding allergies and incompatibilities. So first, just take some time. So legal advice on the webinar. I want to make sure that you have this information, so please take into account that the information, advice and solutions come from more than 35 years of experience, but they don't replace the visit to the doctor or a therapist. And in spite of double-blind and placebo-controlled studies, the classical conventional medicine does not recognize or accept bioresonance. And if you still haven't seen some webinar from our series, or if you want to go through it again because you said, well, I would like to have a look at it again, there was very useful information, then you can do it on our Rayonex wiki. It's our training portal by Rayonex Biomedical. And if you don't have the password or username, just send us an email on info@rayonex.de. We're going to send it to you. And the other, even faster possibilities on the YouTube channel, on Rayonex. In the browser, you go into YouTube and Rayonex in the search, get to the playlists, and you are again in the webinars, which you can have a look at again. So we come to our third webinar today, and the content. Well, again, the most important, which is the 2nd of March. We said it's about the use of food supplements in allergies and incompatibilities, but also note the 9th, which is our last or fourth webinar. So the third webinar, what shall I tell you? We said food supplements are a very important part in supporting patients with allergies and incompatibilities. And since we need to tell the professional people, we invited our ecotrophologist, Dr. Hasano. She is the expert Rayonex Biomedical for food supplements. She made her bachelor in Heilbronn and then went to Gießen to do the master, and now she's again in Olpe or Lennestadt. And we are glad to have her again, providing us hints and information what can we do with food supplements with allergies and incompatibilities. And if we can complete them, Rayonex Biomedical GmbH follows a course-oriented focus. Whenever we find any stress, any burden with our systems, or any point that needs to be regulated, then we not only have the possibility of testing it, but we want to have, even as a system provider, we want to provide the solution. And we have it in many areas, not only other charges like electrosmog or heavy metal, where we always have the according solution, but also within food supplements. And since we are at Rayonex Biomedical, you can imagine that also they are very special. So I'm looking forward to deepening into it. So for all those who've been all the time with us, last time we talked about the basics, bioresonance according to Paul Schmidt, how we deal with all incompatibilities from our point of view. But in the first webinar, Mrs. Schickman and Mrs. Porsche told us a lot of allergies and incompatibilities, and I would like it to summarize it again because we're coming to symptoms with Mrs. Hasenaus, so you get a better entrance. We said an allergy is an overreaction of the immune systems on harmless substances like allergens, like milk or eggs, and the immune systems ejects antihistamines, and according to the allergy, we have different problems, complications, and the gastrointestinal is also in the skin. This is an allergy, and then we have food intolerances, which is about substances and elements of foods, and they can create similar symptoms like allergies. Often it's lactose, gluten, but or fructose. The trigger symptoms are very similar, like gastrointestinal problems. Again, but with food intolerance, the immune system is not involved, but symptoms are so hefty and they limit life quality. It's very important that we deal intensively with the subject. So let's come to looking at these fine substance optimized food supplements. Basically, food supplements are termed as food. This is why food supplements are not taken in, but they are consumed. This is a subtle difference because drugs are taken, but food supplements are consumed. So I would like to make it clear from the legal point of view because it is increasingly important, and for you it may be useful for your daily language. Basically, food supplements, well, they contain vitamins, minerals, trace elements, or other nutrients which are important from a nutrition physiology point of view, and they complement, they supplement. And as things should be, not only our medical products are submitted regularly to audits and controls, but also the food supplements from ours are under official control. That's a standard, that's fully clear, but we want to mention this again. But what is much more interesting is that out of normal food supplements, which in all their big amount are available in big numbers on the market, we have done something very special Rayonex-like, because with the bioresonance devices we have the possibility, for instance, of calling an RAH program affecting the physiology of a very specific organ. And when we say, okay, we test here, for instance, we have a drug, we test another substance on the burden, for instance, on an organ, we, with our systems, are able to recognize whether these substances which we have introduced into the measuring cup are really able to improve the physiological processes of the organ. And this places us in an incredible situation, namely that we not only can check and compose food supplements according to biochemical aspects, but also based on energetical aspects, which means that there's something behind measuring without end, doing measurements. This means that each new raw material we are supplied is first tested with the devices, but this starts even with development, because can remember, as was with Rayobase, we elaborated very precisely which raw material was really adequate in the first step, what raw material was really improving each organ in its energetics, and then once these raw materials were mixed, they were tested again whether as a whole in this combination of raw materials there was also an improvement. And I can tell you, well, most viewers are experienced users of bioresonance according to Paul Schmidt, and they know it, but you know yourselves, if you test our food supplements with our systems or other preparations, it very often happens that you say, okay, it has a systematics that is precisely adequate for this food supplements and this preparation, yet the preparation does not improve this systematics within the organism. And in order to avoid this, we have done very intensive energetic tests with our products, even with Rayosols, that is our bathing salts, which we also use in detoxification processes or to support them. And we have always been careful that when taking and consuming these food supplements, we have positive results from an energetic point of view. This is what makes the difference of our food supplements in the whole diversity of available food supplements. And this is what makes them so special. And I would like to tell you as well that this whole process from the development from an energetic point of view has also been adjusted, and also from production. Each new batch is measured. Each time we have a new production, a new manufacturing, we have a new test on the energetic effect of the most different organs. And all this also gets into storage. Even storage is energetically optimized. We've checked precisely where are their location-based impacts. In storage, we definitely have no impulse-modulated senders or anything like that. This is also part of the specificities of these products. And when you order such food supplements with us, they come energetically highly optimized from our warehouse to you per mail. This is our understanding of optimized food supplements, and we've made many new friends. And if I can come back to the Rayo base, it's like this. If you start energetically and not only biochemically developing these food supplements, you get surprises, especially with the taste tests. The Rayo base has a different taste due to the metabolism. This has been dealt with a lot, and this is also a result of this development of fine substances that has created this combination of raw materials. It's really fun to see how much detail is behind there, but I also think there you see how much love we place into the details, and this has paid off from our perspective. Well, I think that this was the thing that we have been able to explain you what is the difference between these food supplements from other food supplements. And believe me, this is a question we often ask because there's a lot on the market, and whether you consume them or if you recommend them to your patients, I think you need an answer on that. So this question has been answered in detail. So now you have an answer ready. I'm sure that Mrs. Hasenau has many more answers on your questions. Mrs. Hasenau is new at Ridex Biomedical, and I would like to introduce her because in future when you have questions, don't be shy, call, write. Mrs. Hasenau will help you, and in future will be in many webinars and perhaps some presentations when this is possible again. Today based on COVID. I told you we have a great technology here, so we can call her in. And we have Mrs. Hasenau connected. Hello, Mrs. Hasenau. I can see you, I can hear you. Welcome. Good evening, Mrs. Bunkenburg, Mr. Heimes, and welcome, dear participants in the webinar. I'll start with my part. There are many causes for allergies and intolerances. Among others, it could be environmental impacts or lifestyle, allergy strengthening nutrition due to fast food, gluten, cereals or dairy products, or a surcharge of the immune system due to additives or pesticides, an altered intestinal flora or mucosa, but also psychical burden and stress can cause allergic problems. The immune system reacts inadequately. Cells fight harmless substance like dust or animal hairs. And the nutrients offer a whole set of potentials, which, for instance, limit the negative effects on the body. The immune system is directly addressed. They can alleviate allergy symptoms and can prevent. And through specific supplementation with micronutrients, the immune system can be supported and allergic symptoms can be alleviated. We at Rayonex have a holistic supplement concept which includes Rayobase, Rayoflora, Rayovita, and Rayopure, as you can see in the picture. They include vegetal substances that bind toxins and expel them. This supports organs, and they provide also different positive bacterial cultures that can create a healthy intestinal microbiota, and they supply the organism with trace elements, vitamins, basic minerals, which bind acids. In allergies and intolerances, it often comes to over-acidification. That means that allergies cause over-acidification and strengthen the risk of having an allergy. Acids and bases should be in a flowing balance, that is, balance. The bases stimulate healthy intestinal flora, they strengthen the immune system and regulate it again. They reduce allergic symptoms and alleviate causes of inflammation. And for instance, heavy sports, stress, and much meat affect the balance. Acids are increased, and the immune system needs to react on that, and it creates a faster reaction in the tissue. But other acid sources can be animal food or environmental impact, drugs, or stress. To deacidify, we have Rayobase, which is a basic food supplement with minerals, zinc, and silica. It neutralizes excessive acids, and Rayobase includes important nutrients to alleviate allergic symptoms, for instance, zinc, magnesium, and calcium. Lack of zinc reduces the function of the immune systems, increases the propension to allergies, and zinc contributes to a normal acid-base metabolism. And magnesium increases sensibility vis-a-vis allergens. Intestinal sanitation is important in allergies and intolerances because the intestine is the root of our health. And nil intestine has the immune system suffer. So the intestinal flora needs to be rebalanced through the microorganism cultures that push back negative microorganisms. Because with nil intestine, the immune system cannot be restored, and the toxins cannot leave fast enough nil intestine. Here you can use Rayoflora, which is a balanced combination of microorganisms with 12 probiotic bacterial cultures, which stabilize and sanitize the intestinal microbiome. And these cultures are settle in the intestine and create a healthy flora, which pushes back the negative microorganism, and favorable bacteria bind the foreign substances, strengthen the mucosa and the immune system. Since 80% of our immune system is located there, and it's so important to restore the original state of the intestinal flora and regenerate the mucosa and strengthen the immune system, so no allergic reactions can be even caused. What is also important with allergies and incompatibilities is the psyche, because allergies and psyche have a mutual relationship. That means symptoms of an allergy but also intolerance affect our psyche, like psychical burdens reflect on our body. Stress phases worsen allergies, but also allergic symptoms. For instance, pruritus with eczema cause enormous psychical stress, and the psychological burden can cause an allergy or strengthen allergies because the body reacts to the stress. This hampers the life quality. People don't feel easy, and this is why an important intake of vitamins is important. For this, Rayovita can be used for this. It's a balanced combination of vitamins and trace elements important for overcoming stress. Rayovita includes, for instance, biotin, vitamin B1, B6, B12, and C, which support the nervous system and also the psyche. Rayovita includes also iron and folic acid, which reduce fatigue and sleepiness. Another point in allergies and intolerances are inflammation focuses. In allergies, the skin and the mucosa is affected. An intake of highly effective antioxidants discharges the immune systems, and they can be anti-inflammatory. And heavy metals, for instance, lead or mercury, also affect the most important disintoxication organs like the liver and the kidney. And due to a heavy amount of toxins, these poisons cannot be neutralized and expelled. So they remain in the body and the immune system is overstressed. And here we would recommend Rayopure because it's a holistic good supplement with plant extracts, algae, alpha-lipoic acid to support expulsion and cleansing. Organic sulfur protects mucosas for allergens, strengthens the intestinal barrier and the immune system located there, but it also is anti-inflammatory and improves allergic symptoms, which support the intestinal function and detoxification. But Rayopure also includes many antioxidants, which can help the body in chronic inflammations. Then we have Resol Plus. It's a basic bathing additive from stone salt, green mineral, earth, and minerals. It supports de-acidification through the skin. It has an anti-inflammatory and calming effect in skin reactions and stimulates skin regeneration, can reduce stress, for instance, through a full bath, because it often has a positive effect or relaxing effect on the body. It can be used as a full bath, but also as a foot bath or as a basic wrapping or stockings. Here again, we have the holistic measures summarized because it's important that the body comes into balance through a balanced acid basic balance, a stable intestinal microbiota, which detoxifies the body, discharges the liver, and strengthens the immune system, antioxidants, which reduce inflammatory processes, regeneration of damaged mucosas, and strengthening of the liver and the immune system. Also, stress reduction is important because body and soul cannot be kept apart, and it's important that the body has all important nutrients, especially minerals and vitamins. And another measure is bioresonance according to Paul Schmidt. And here we see again consumption recommendation of our food supplements. It's a combination of 4 with Rayopure, Rayovita, Rayobase, and Rayoflora. At the same time, our food supplements complement each other very well because they pursue one same goal, which is the equilibrium of the inner medium in a combination of 2, 3, 4 is possible. This results for each individual need different application options. And here we see that Rayopure in the first week should be taken with 2 capsules, and from the second week with 3 capsules. Rayovita, Rayobase, and Rayoflora should be consumed once a day. And for more information and combination possibilities, you can address us or we'll ask for our leaflet. Thank you very much, Mrs. Hasenau, for your detailed explanation. It was great. I think it was very exciting. We wish you a nice evening and thank you very much. Thank you a lot, and I also wish you a nice evening. Right, so just one hint from our side. In allergies and intolerances, we have many people taking cortisone, and if you do so, you have different needs of minerals, for instance. And if this lack of minerals, if you want to prevent it, for instance, it's very useful taking food supplements. Now we've had much theory. What can we do? What is out there? I would like to come back to the test. I would like to show you what about our system. How can we check what ingredient I need, or even what food supplement? How can I test them? I think it's very different. On your side, ones will do test with the tensors, others with the skin. I start with Rayo tensor, and out of the rotation becomes a linear movement, and there's an idea that a product is needed. So we have all the products with RAH, you will find them there, but of course we have the possibility of a test protocol which is RAH 700, where you can go through the details. It's a hidden test product, so to say. If you enter the number at the polar, for instance, you can see directly that there is a test protocol, but if you have an MT, an M10, there you will get the test protocol. Just to make it clear, in RAH we have far more than 2,000 programs. Also, the according food supplements have been created regarding frequencies. They are there in the RAH program. So the user can, for instance, take the RAH program for Rayovita. They will test with a Rayo tensor, and if I get a linear movement, I know, okay, this product is needed. This is, well, the patient is connected, or the customer. I choose the linear movement, okay, that's needed. If I take the test vial, I see, okay, it's improved, perfect product for this patient. Yes, you can do it this way. Okay, just to make it clear, let's come to Rayoscan. The Rayoscan is a bit different. There you have our products integrated. On the right side you have the RAH numbers, 07, 90, 91, 92, 93, 95. And this means when in the list, in the Rayo scan, you see the 40 more important products listed energetically. If Rayovita is in there, then it means that this product is needed. This is the possibility of having an overview of the Rayo scan. You can, whether you need it or not, but this is only related to products. In the Rayo scan, of course, you also have vitamins, trace elements individually. So, if magnesium is on the top, it's a clear hint for Rayo base. It's the way how you can go through it and get more interpretation to such a result. In the future, well, with Rayoscan, we want to offer you more possibilities. We have allergies and intolerances with Rayotensor still, but we want to tell you that we are still working intensively, and for Rayoscan, we are going to find a good solution in the next future, so you can better deal with allergies and intolerances. And I'm sure that right now, some people from the audience will be typing when we can count with individual scan. Well, that's how it's going to be. Okay, we are in there, we're working on that, we're making an effort of getting it ready as soon as possible, but it still will take the rest of the year. So, we've come to the end of the third webinar from the blog on allergies and intolerances. It was a nice webinar, at least to me. It was very fun for me. I hope also for you. And I hope you got many new inputs for you. Perhaps the one or other information was refreshed. So we would like to wish you a nice evening and all the best. And with the last picture, I can tell you save the date because we have the last webinar, which is on the 9th of March at 7 p.m. So see you again. Thank you.